Alrighty, well, let's get started. It is 9:03, at least here in California. I know we're in lots of different time zones, so it's 3 minutes after the hour. Let's get going. Well, welcome everybody to our chair yoga class. Before we get moving, just a quick reminder of what else GoGo offers. So in addition to these classes, you can access rides, meals, groceries, medication delivery, and home services. And home services is really like anything you need done around the house, cleaning the gutters, shoveling snow, changing a light bulb, whatever it is that needs to be done. Also, a reminder that we have a referral code. So at the bottom of your GoGo receipts, there is a code. If you give that code to a friend, once they've taken their first service with GoGo, you will both then get $10 in GoGo credit. So a nice win-win. We also have a Facebook group. So if you ever want to continue any of these conversations we have online or to see how other people are using GoGo, you can find us on Facebook and we'll share a link in the chat. Alrighty. If we haven't met, I'm Adra. I teach the yoga and the functional fitness classes here at GoGo. Let's see, what do we need today? All you need is a chair because it's chair yoga. So I've got a kind of a standard firm chair that's pretty steady. No armrests on this chair, but if all you have is a chair with armrests, fine. If all you have is a chair that wheels around, fine. But if you do have a steady chair, that's ideal. Does anybody, so if you're new, we do this move of the week. We do a move where I tell you the move at the end of our session, and then you have to remember it for a couple of weeks. So does anybody remember the chair yoga move of the week? So not the functional fitness, because that was last time, but the time before for chair yoga. Does anybody remember the chair yoga move of the week?
Hey, Adra. I'm clueless and we've lost Bertha too, so
Okay, well, we'll see. I'll give everyone another minute. It's such a simple one that it's almost harder that way.
Mountain pose.
Yes. Who said that?
This is Liza in Albuquerque on the phone.
Excellent, Liza. Well done. Mountain pose. And if anyone doesn't remember,
Thank you.
I'm impressed. If anyone
I'm impressed too.
If anyone doesn't remember what mountain pose is, that's just standing tall. And just noticing how you stand tall. Excellent. Well done. It's extra hard because it's a yoga name to standing tall. All right. Sorry, I didn't know if I was cutting anyone off, so I wanted to pause if anyone wanted to say anything else. All right, then let's get going. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. We'll get moving today. We'll get a mountain pose in today as well. So my screen is likely your big screen, but if it is not, you might need to adjust your settings. So if you need to adjust your settings so that you can see me nice and big, you'll go to the top right-hand corner of your Zoom page, top right-hand corner, and a box will pop up that says view. And then you can change the view to speaker view if you want to see me nice and big. And if you want to see everybody else, you can change the view to gallery. All right, so finding your seat. Go ahead and take a moment and just shift a little side to side. Then finding center, feeling both of your sits bones grounded in your chair. Take some circles with your torso. So there's really no right or wrong way of doing this, or really doing anything in class. Circle the other way. I want to encourage you to listen to your body, to take breaks when you need to adjust, to modify, so that this practice is accessible and so that you can come back next time. Let's find center. We'll inhale, pull the chest forward, elbows back, stretch the front of the body. You can even lift your chin up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, round the back, tuck the tail, curl the spine, drop your chin. Inhale, chest comes forward, tail goes back, elbows squeeze. And exhale, round. Continue here, following your breath. So this class is primarily seated. Our functional fitness class is primarily standing. So just know that most of this class will be seated and we'll stand up for just maybe 5 minutes towards the end of class. Go ahead and make your way back to center. We'll let the arms dangle by your side and begin to side bend. Imagine you're in a narrow hallway with a wall in front of you and a wall behind you, and you don't want to touch either wall. So you'll side bend, only going so far as you can without adding any rotation or forward or back bending. And then exhale, lift yourself back to center. Inhale, side bend to the other side. Again, trying not to touch those imaginary walls. And exhale, lift yourself back up. So keep going here at your own pace. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a hug. So wrapping one arm over the other and reaching those hands towards those shoulders. So one elbow is on top, one elbow is below. And we'll rotate the spine, twisting one way as you inhale and twisting the other way as you exhale. Keep going at your own pace. So don't worry about my speed or really anybody else's. Move with your breath. Make your way back to center. Take note of which arm is on top. We're going to switch. So other elbow comes on top. Give yourself that hug. Just a few more twists. Inhale one way. Exhale the other. So it might feel a little different with the other arm on top. And then make your way back to center, releasing the arms. Go ahead and move into a beginning meditation. So make sure you're comfortable in your seat. You can sit back, you can sit forward, but find a place where you can sit for a few minutes. Feel free to close your eyes or allow your gaze to soften to the ground. Take a moment to feel where your sits bones, so those firm bones in your bum, feeling those sits bones grounded in your chair. And also your feet, how your feet land on the ground. Even if you're in shoes, feeling how the feet press into the shoes and the shoes press into the earth. Noticing the position of the spine. Allowing there to be those natural curves in the spine without slouching forward or overly thrusting the ribs up. You're allowing yourself to be somewhat relaxed, but alert. Maybe feeling as though your shoulders and your shoulder blades, so those kind of flat bones on your back that attach to your upper arms, those shoulder blades, can almost float on your rib cage. Then tune into your breathing. Feeling the natural flow of the breath in and out. Yeah. See if you can allow your breath to slow down just a tiny bit. And then we'll do a little bit of controlled breathing. So I'll count you through this. What we'll be doing is inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. I'll count you through a couple of rounds and then you'll do a few on your own. When you do the few on your own, you can change the number. You could be doing 3 or you could be doing 5 seconds. So it's up to you. First, just a normal inhale and a normal exhale. And we'll begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Continue on your own, just a few more rounds. And letting that go, allowing your breath to return to normal. Blink open your eyes. We'll go into some motion in the neck. So we'll begin to rotate the head, turning it right and left. And then nod the head, yes, looking up and down. Just moving in a range that feels good and safe to the body. Here and always. So always checking in, noticing, does this feel right for me right now? Without judgment, without worrying about what worked last time. Come back to center. We'll bring one ear towards the shoulder. So it's a lateral flexion is what we call it, sort of a side stretch of the neck. So the shoulders stay relaxed. So notice how the shoulders don't move, right? It's ear towards the shoulder, not shoulder to the ear. Then back to center. And then ear towards the other shoulder. Again, it's not shoulder to ear. It's also not a full body side bend. So see if you can try and keep your upper body still and find that motion just in the neck. So ear towards the shoulder. It might be really tiny and that's okay, right? We want to find that real range and then other ear to shoulder. And then back to center. I'm going to come a little closer so you can see. You're going to put your hands kind of right below your neck. So I have one hand on top of the other right below the neck. It's helpful to get a little bit of skin here. So if you can, you're going to grab a little bit of skin. If you can't, it's okay. You can sort of push through your shirt to grab some skin. So you're going to pull slightly down and then lift your chin up to really stretch the front of the throat. So grabbing that skin, very gently pulling down and then lifting the head. So you'll feel a stretch into that neck, the front of the neck. If you need more, you can always move your lower jaw or your lower teeth ahead of your bottom teeth. Then relax the jaw if you've moved it. Bring the head back to center, releasing the arms, and then bringing your chin towards your chest, looking down. You can stay here or you can interlace your fingers behind your head, letting those elbows point down. Now, if you're taking the hands behind the head, I want you to counter the weight of your arms. So you're not pulling down with your arms at all. You're letting those hands rest on your head, but you're going to match that weight of the hands resting on the head by just gently pushing the head up into the hands. And if that was too many cues, then don't worry about it. Then releasing the hands, lifting the head back up. Let's move into our shoulders now. We'll inhale, lift those shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, let them drop. Inhale, shoulders lift up. Exhale, let them drop. So keep going here at your own pace, feeling as though those shoulders are buoyant. They're full of helium and they're lifting up. And then the helium is gently, slowly releasing out of the shoulders to let the shoulders drop down. You're going to keep that idea of this sort of floating feeling, but add circles. We'll do shoulder circles back. So you'll lift the shoulders up towards the ears, right? You're not touching your ears. You're just going in that direction. And then you're squeezing those shoulders back like they're trying to touch each other behind you. Allow the shoulders to drop and then roll forward. So up, back, down, and forward. Let's add some breathing. Inhale on the way up and back. Exhale on the way down and forward. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, down and forward. A few more times at your own pace. If the breathing is too much or gets confusing, let it go. Everything I say is an offering. You can take it or leave it. And then letting those shoulders drop and relax. We go the other way. We're going to start with the up, but then we'll go forward. So we inhale up and forward. Exhale down and back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale, shoulders up towards the ears, then forward. Exhale down and back. Keep going. So now our shoulder circles are forward. You're moving in a range that works for you. If this is painful, make it smaller. Feel as though those shoulders are floating. They're buoys in water. They can bob up and around, but there's a sense of lightness to them. And then allowing those shoulders to relax. Let's take our arms and flip the palms to face up and the elbows bent about 90 degrees. So I'll just turn sideways for a moment. So you see we have a nice 90-degree bend here in our arms. I'm going to find some rotation. So as you inhale, thumbs will reach back, externally rotating. So we're feeling that arm bone moving in the shoulder socket. And then exhale, pinkies touch. Inhale, opening. Exhale, closing. Keep going at your own pace. The next time your arms are out to the side, we'll pause for a moment. Flip the palms to face forward, and then bend the elbows a little more, creating this sort of W shape. We'll inhale, nice open fingers, reach the hands up towards the ceiling, spread those fingers apart. Exhale, bend the elbows, and then create fists with the hands. We're gonna have nice active hands here. So we inhale, open the fingers, stretch the arms up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, bend, create those fists and slide those shoulders down, that W shape. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you bend. Keep going at your own pace. So again, don't worry about me or anybody else's speed. Follow your breath, your pace, make this work for your body. If you have a shoulder injury and you can't reach overhead, do just one arm, that's totally fine. Or even just imagine that you're doing the motion and only move through the range that works for you. It's fine to move 2 inches and come back down, right? There's value in motion, even if it's not the full range. As you reach those arms overhead, notice if the spine moves. Are you able to reach the arms overhead without changing the shape of your spine? All right, and then let's let those arms go, relaxing the hands down. Let's take those feet together if that's possible. So you'll take your feet and knees together. If that's not possible, just create some sort of imagining, I don't think that's a word, imagining that you're pulling those knees together like there's a magnet and they're really attracted. So your legs can be separated if that feels just safer on the body, or knees and feet come together. You're feeling this squeeze of those legs together, and they're gonna try and stay there. So you can imagine you have a $100 bill between your knees. You don't wanna lose that $100. So legs stay together. Let's twist the spine one way. I'll mirror you. So let's go to the right. We'll twist to the right, and then hands can rest on either outside of that right leg. So left hand goes outside of the right leg, right hand goes to the chair. Again, imagining you're still squeezing that $100 bill, or if your legs are separated, then you have that magnetized feeling of the knees coming towards each other. Few breaths here, noticing where your breath goes when you're twisted. And come to center. Same idea, keeping those legs nice and active. Twist the other way. Right hand goes outside of the left leg. Left hand goes to the chair. You're rotating. Keeping those legs together or magnetized towards each other. Jaws relaxed, smooth breath. And make your way back to center. You can separate those feet. And we'll move our attention now to our legs, moving into some heel raises. So we'll alternate lifting one heel up and then the other. So moving through the ankle and through the foot. So the front third of the foot stays on the ground. So if you were to take the length of the foot and cut it into 3 pieces or 3 parts, we have the front part with the toes and the ball of the foot. We have the center, that main arch, and then we have the back, the heel. So that front third, ball of the foot and toes, stay on the ground. The rest of the foot moves through. You can continue with these heel raises or move into marching, lifting the foot completely off the ground and then bringing it back down. So if you're adding the marching, see if you can keep your pelvis still and your low back still. So I'm going to show you a side view here. What we want is this ability to move the leg without moving the spine, right? So we see that my spine is not really moving as one knee lifts and the other. Versus, I'm going to show two things that sometimes happen. One thing that sometimes happens is as the leg lifts, there's sort of this tucking of the tail. I'm exaggerating it a little. Here we go. So we don't want that because now we're just moving in the low back and we're not actually moving the leg. We're moving the low back. The other thing that can happen is a hinge back. Again, that is not a movement of the leg so much as the movement of the entire torso back. So we try and keep the upper body still as you move through the marching. I mean, same thing with the heel raises. So even if you're not lifting your foot off the ground, you have that idea of really trying to keep the torso nice and still. Couple more. All right, we're gonna start to march those legs out wide. It's not possible to do this, it's okay, we're just actually moving to a wide stance. So however you'd like, find a nice wide stance. You might need to scooch forward in your chair, you might need to scooch back. Whatever stance you're going into, make sure you feel stable, right? If you're not stable, then adjust or take your legs closer together. Let those knees be in line with the toes. So allow the legs to be active. Don't let those knees knock in. So that's often what happens. And then you're not really doing any work here. So we really want those legs nice and active. It can be a smaller stance. So I'm quite flexible here. So that's why my legs are out wide. But if you need to have a more narrow stance to be active, then that's awesome. Do that. From there, let's side bend to the right. We'll bring that right hand to the right knee. You can stay there. Or you can start to bend that right elbow. You could stay there, or you could bring the forearm to an arm rest or to your leg. Now we're going to move our free arm here. So that left arm is going to find some motion. So it can start by your side, and then if it feels okay, it's going to reach to the side, up towards the ceiling and overhead, and then back down. Now, if that feels icky, don't do it. Find one place to hold your arm or change the circle. But we're trying to find a little bit of motion in the arm, if possible, while you're stretching and noticing how the movement or the position of the arm affects the stretch. Do maybe one more, and as you move into this last one, you're going to find a place where you want to hold. So it could really be anywhere where your body wants to hold the stretch. And we'll hold for 3 breaths, whatever position you find. And then lift yourself back up. Pause for a moment. Notice the difference right to left. We go to the other side. So leaning to the left hand rests on the knee. You can stay there. Or you can start to bend your elbow just so that you get a little closer to the leg. You can stay there. You can bring a forearm to an arm rest or a forearm to the thigh. Try and keep your hips grounded. Now your free arm, your right arm is going to find some movement for this first several breaths. So you're going to circle that arm out to the side, up towards the ceiling and overhead, and then bringing it back. Feel free to play around with where the arm goes. We're just finding some movement and noticing how that feels in the shoulder and also how that affects the stretch. Next time you lift the arm up, find a spot where you want to hold. It could be resting by your side. It can be out, it can be back, it can be forward. Doesn't matter. Find where you want to hold. This side might be different than the other side. And then lift yourself back up. Bring those legs back together. We're going to work our thighs a little bit. So trying to sit nice and tall here. We're going to straighten one leg out in front and then bring it back down. Switching sides. Other leg straightens out and back down. So we'll feel those quads working. Let's do this a few times. If you'd like, you can add some breathing with this. So we inhale, straighten one leg out in front of you. Exhale, we bend the knee. Inhale, straighten the other leg. And exhale, bend. Keep going. I'll show you a side view as well. You don't need to move. I'm just giving you other views. We're straightening and bending. Maybe you're moving with the breath, maybe not. Start to even yourself out. You've done the same right to left. And then letting that go. I'm gonna go ahead and now straighten out the right leg in front of us with the heel on the ground. I'm just going sideways so you can see better, but we're straightening the right leg forward in front of us. The left knee stays bent. We'll move through the ankle. So we'll point the foot so toes come down, and then we'll flex the foot. So we're moving through the ankle, toes reach towards the ground, and then toes reach towards the ceiling. So finding that motion of the ankle and that right foot. Next time your foot is flexed, so the toes up towards the ceiling, we'll go ahead and pause. And we'll move into the stretch. So as you inhale, you'll lean your torso forward and feel the stretch along the back of that straight leg or that right leg. And then exhale, sit back up, back away from the stretch. Inhale, leaning forward, feeling the stretch intensify. And then exhale, sitting back up. Keep going, follow your breath. Next time you're sitting tall, pause and decide where you want to hold the stretch. So you can hold the stretch sitting tall. You can hold the stretch leaning forward. You could even bring a forearm to your leg if you'd like. So finding whatever position you'd like to be in to hold the stretch for a couple of breaths. Bring yourself back up, rebend that right knee. Windshield wiper those legs or just shake them off. So you're just letting them sway right to left if that feels okay. And we'll go to the other side. So left leg straightens out. Right knee stays bent. We'll move through the ankle first. So pointing the foot so the toes find the ground. And then flexing the foot, the toes towards the ceiling. Down and up. Next time your foot is flexed, toes up to the ceiling, you'll pause. We'll inhale, lean forward, feel the stretch intensify, and then exhale, sit up again. Back and forth, a couple of times. Next time you're sitting tall, pause and decide where you want to hold the stretch. You can stay upright. You can lean forward, bending those elbows. You can bring a forearm down. Whatever works for you, hold the stretch. And then lifting the torso, rebending the knee, windshield wiper side to side. So we'll move to our standing part of class. We'll only be standing for about 2 to 3 minutes. So if you don't want to stand, stay seated. You can do some motions and some stretches seated. If you are up for standing, go ahead and come on up and go behind your chair. If you cannot get behind your chair because of the position of the chair, instead find a wall, find a table, find something that you can hold on to for support. So we'll stand behind our support and we'll first find that mountain pose. So our move of the week for last yoga session. So feeling those feet grounded into the earth, all 10 toes facing forward. Arms can rest by your side. Spine is long. Just feeling how your body connects to the earth equally, right to left. Maybe those palms rotate forward. Imagining that there's a string at the crown of the head, just gently pulling you towards the ceiling. The glutes are relaxed, the breath is smooth. Then bring the fingertips to your chair or your support and step your right foot back, anywhere from 1 to 3 feet back. It just depends on the length of your legs. So right leg steps back, left leg is forward. Both feet are flat on the ground. So if your foot can't come flat on the ground, you need to make your stance shorter and then bend into your front knee. So the front knee or left knee is bent, the back leg is straight, and that right heel or the back heel is on the ground if possible. Feel free to keep holding onto your support, or if you prefer, arms can reach up towards the ceiling. Few deep breaths. Go ahead and step forward, back foot meets the front, and we'll switch legs. So now standing on that right leg, left foot leg steps back anywhere again from 1 to 3 feet. All 10 toes are facing forward. Both feet are flat on the ground. We bend the front knee. So the front knee is bent, the back leg is straight. You're holding onto your support if you'd like, or you can hover the hands or reach them towards the ceiling. Whatever works for you today, knowing that every day is different. So don't feel as though it needs to be exactly the same. One more breath here. And then stepping forward, back foot meets the front. Let's place both hands on your support. So that could be against the wall, on a table, or on your chair. And we'll go into an upside down L, walking those feet back, bringing the torso parallel-ish to the ground, right? If you can't get all the way down here, then your torso can be up. You're also welcome to bend your knees. So make this work for your body. 3 deep breaths. And then lift your torso back up, walk yourself forward. Pause for a moment at the top. And then make your way back to your seat. Once you're in your seat, we're going to do a little forward fold here, so slight rounding of the back. You'll take your hands to your thighs and begin to bend the elbows. You decide how low you go, so you can bend the elbows a little bit, or you can bring your forearms down to your legs. I'll just show you a side view as well. So hands, forearms. You're also welcome to come all the way down, hands to your feet, but if you go all the way down, know that you need to come back up safely. So you decide if you really want to go that far. Whatever variation you choose, you're letting your head relax if possible and taking several deep breaths. Then go ahead and lift your torso back up. Take your time, find a comfortable position for our closing meditation. So you can rest into your backrest or sit tall. Hands can be wherever you'd like. Eyes can close, or you can let your gaze soften to the ground. We're going to come back to that equal breathing, equal inhales, equal exhales. First, just a normal inhale and a normal exhale, and I'll count you through. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. In, out. Few more rounds on your own. And then letting your breath return to normal. Bringing your palms to touch in front of your heart. Take a moment to thank yourself for taking time to take care of your mind and your body. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. So great to have you as always. Before I open it up for questions, our move of the week is equal breathing. So the breath exercise that we did at the beginning and at the end. So the inhale for 4 and exhale for 4. You can change the counts, but I want to encourage you to at least one time between now and our next Wednesday yoga. So that's 2 weeks, at least one time when you're feeling a little bit of stress, to pause and do that 4 counts in, 4 counts out, and see how that feels. Or you can change the counts, but equal inhale, exhale with that focus on paying attention to the breath. I'm going to write that down so that I remember. Oh my gosh, I need to find a new piece of paper. I guess I won't. Here we go. New piece of paper. I better write it down. We've had so many, here, I'll pull it up actually. We've had so many moves of the weeks that my paper is full. So equal breathing in and out. And now if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Yoga or functional fitness questions. If you have GoGo questions, best to just email GoGo directly because I usually don't know the answer.
Hi, it's Judy's iPad. When you're breathing in, your mouth is closed. When you're breathing out, should your mouth be open?
Great question. So it depends. You can do both. You can do both. So the more traditional yoga way is to do in through the nose and out through the nose. But sometimes the out through the nose can cause a little bit of stress and anxiety. And so if it feels better to do an exhale out the mouth, totally fine. Exhale out the mouth. Oh, thanks, Catherine. I see your note there. Yes, and if anyone is ready to pop off, you can just leave. There's no need to stay unless you want to, right? I'm here to chat if you'd like. All right, looks like everybody is ready to go. So I will see you on Friday or next week. So Friday is functional fitness, or I'll see you the following week. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving and have a great rest of the week. Thanks, everyone.